All right, let's go to Rebecca in Medford, Oregon. What's up, Medford? Not Medford. What's up, Rebecca? How we doing?
Hi, Dr. John. Thank you for taking my call.
Of
I'm
course.
a really big fan. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful for you. What's up?
I'm just wondering, I found out some very shocking things 10 months ago. I found it out all in one day. My question is, how can I heal after finding out my husband has been keeping secrets from me throughout our entire 28-year marriage?
Whoa. What kind of secrets?
I just had I'm not one to check phones, babysit, as I call it, check his computer. But I had a weird feeling, and I checked his computer. And what I found out was completely overwhelming. He had reached out to an ex-girlfriend 2 years prior. Nothing came of it, but he had reached out. I found out he had a porn addiction, lots and lots of porn. It seemed to have escalated, it looked like, into some kinks I had no idea that he was into. He was reaching out to couples. He was in chat rooms. The way that he was speaking to other people was definitely not the person I knew. We're very close. We've been best friends for so long. We just, we're very close. We have each other's backs. I know him inside and out, and I feel like he knows me, except I have never once lied to him. The way he was speaking to these people was crass, graphic. But the most disturbing to me is that he had showed to these random online people photos of me, sexualizing me, describing my measurements, and a desire of me to be with another man in front of him. They weren't nude photos of me, but they were racy photos, just shorts and like a low-cut tank top that, I just would never, ever in a million years think that he would share that with someone. And all these things I found out were so shocking, and I just found out more and more stuff as I read through. I started crying. I felt like I had been kicked in the stomach, and that everything I knew about him it just switched in a moment's time. I had no idea he felt this way or that he was even capable of doing something like this. So this was 10 months ago.
Tell me about the last 10 months. How's that gone?
Well, I kicked him out. We have a trailer, so I kicked him out to get some space. I was furious. I couldn't stand to even look at him.
How did he take that? Did he say, "I understand"? Or did he go kicking and screaming?
At first he gaslit me and made excuses until when I approached him. I gave him a chance to be honest on his own, and he was not. And it wasn't until I presented him with black and, there in black and white what I read, and he could not deny it anymore. And then he left willingly. He let me kick and scream. He took it. And then he wrote me letter after letter after letter while he was gone. He's in deep shame, extremely remorseful, crying. It's been a rough 10 months, very up and down. And he went so far as he made a list of everything he was going to do to get better. And has followed through with most of it. He became very transparent. He put, locks on anything porn related. He just quit overnight. It seemed just overnight. And all of that I appreciate. He's been trying very, very hard. He did promise to go to counseling and get us in marriage counseling if I would agree. And that has not happened. We've actually been, for 10 months, he's been fighting with the insurance company and not getting a response.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
So how can I help you? Sounds like just the whole world blew up.
It blew up. I didn't know how we would go on.
Right.
I felt trapped.
Sure.
I felt absolutely trapped, overwhelmed, and we had just moved out of state.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him I would have never made this move with you if I had known this was going on.
Sure.
The hardest part for me now.
Yeah. How can I help you?
Yeah. From just my point of view is that I feel I don't trust myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust him. I don't trust any other men. So I feel helpless in that. I feel disoriented. And the anger, like I do really well. We do fine. And then all of a sudden the anger will pop up, and it keeps popping up. And I know I want to heal from this. I want to get better.
It's going to take a long time. And
how long?
11 months, 4 days, 3 hours. So
good. I got my calendar.
Right.
Marking it down.
Put a star by it. Yeah, it'll just clean right up right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Couple of things. It's very, very rare that this doesn't happen. That he hasn't come fully clean.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Number two, it's very rare that this happens, that somebody says, I was completely blown away, caught off guard. Remember that movie, The Sixth Sense, with Bruce Willis? And remember the end of that movie, and you're like, oh, no. And they actually do a really amazing job of showing you all the places where you missed it.
Yes.
And it's easy to look back on your life and go, oh, no, right? And that's that sense of, I think I knew this all along, or parts of this, or not all of it, but oh my gosh, this makes sense. And then I remember this conversation, I remember this question. And then that's that feeling you get, which is most people don't realize that when somebody's cheating on you or unfaithful in any number of ways, the most disorienting thing is you don't trust yourself anymore. Like, man, how did I miss all of this? Right?
Yep.
I also think that this is a little unique situation, and here's why. It feels like you don't know this guy, and you can't trust this guy, and everything about him is a lie. That's not true.
Okay.
He is the guy that sat with you, and I'm just going to make up some stuff. I don't know if any of this is true, but he is the guy that sat with you when your mom got sick. He was the guy that showed up on Christmas morning. Like, those things happened, and those are real, and you can't throw all of that out. That happened.
Okay.
Okay. And it's real easy to be like, none of this is real, none of this is true. That's a defense mechanism. It is. The harder part is dealing with the paradox of, you sat with me and held my hand while my dad passed away, and then you went home and got on our computer, and did that. That's a harder thing to deal with than just swinging that thing. My husband's perfect. My husband's the devil. It's always in the middle. Always in the middle. Okay. Here's where I think this is a little bit unique. And I hope I say this the right way, in a way that comes across that makes sense. He clearly violated your trust, and he kept secrets from you. Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to things I'm interested in, or it comes into a fantasy world, that's not uncommon. Okay. It's heartbreaking and it makes people sad, but it's not uncommon.
Okay.
Where he crossed a line for me is he took pictures of you and put them out to the world.
Mm-hmm.
He brought you into a situation that, in a way that is, for me personally, is above and beyond a normal guy. Started looking at pornography and kind of got sucked down a rabbit hole and ended up, in some chat rooms, and just it becomes Dungeons and Dragons, a pornographic Dungeons and Dragons, right? It's a fantasy world, so super separate from the real world. Okay, that, as crazy as it sounds, that doesn't bother me. It bothers me in the clearly hurting people. It's not weird or crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
What's weird and crazy is taking pictures of your wife and putting them on the internet and saying, hey, any seekers, here's her measurements. That to me is such another layer of a violation here that I'd have a hard time coming back from that, to be honest with you. Because he dragged you into something that you don't even know you're being dragged into.
No idea.
Right. And so I want
Yeah.
to validate I want this to work, but I can't seem to make it.
Right.
Like your hurt and violation is very, very, very real. Above and beyond what I would call, and I hate to use this word, it's just the world I'm in, a normal pornography addiction or a normal violation, like someone is, spending erotic time in a fantasy world. This is above and beyond. And so the question you have to ask yourself is, are you playing house or are you playing married just on your terms? Meaning you kicked him out, but I still go to dinner with him. We've still been intimate. We're still friends. We're still hanging out all the time. But then I just get raged out. And what you're doing is you're trying to heal a wound, but you keep pulling the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You've got, and I hate to bring his feelings into this, but they are a part of it because y'all have been married a long time and his feelings are a part of you, whether you want them to be or not. It can be cruel too. It could be hurt. Well, it's a form of punishment. I'm going to punish you through this, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't help anybody do anything. That's a waste of energy and time. What you have to decide is, what do I need right now? And I'm telling you, just as your friend, I need to cut off contact with you for a season, feel fully empowered. And know it is hell on the other side of that.
Yeah.
It's lonely, it's sad, it's heartbreaking, and that doesn't mean it's the wrong thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And if everybody's telling you, you just leave him, you forget this guy's a bum, whatever, and you say, this is my husband and we're going to figure this out. I said till death do us part, come what may, I'm here. That's going to be a bumpy ride too. And so maybe the best gift I could give you is there is no smooth ride out of this.
The hard part is nobody knows.
That's right.
I have a therapist, but I just needed to talk to you to even say it out loud.
Yeah. Because
nobody knows. They think he's perfect.
Yeah. And so you've heard me say this from the great David Kessler, grief demands a witness. And what you're experiencing right now, that anger, that rage, that's grief.
Yeah.
That is, we set this sucker up, dude, and you blew it up.
Yeah.
Right? Blew it up.
It feels like grief.
It is. That's exactly what it is. You are mourning the death of what was. And now what you get to choose is what is going to be. And if you choose for what is going to be with him, great. Y'all are going to have to work really hard. And you're going to have to get a new architect to help you draw a new building. And you're going to have to get new contractors to help you build something totally new. Because what you had is over. It's gone.
It is, yeah.
And if you choose, I'm moving into a duplex. I don't want another big building. That's another avenue for you as well. But I haven't seen that very successful without some space.
Okay.
And I have never seen somebody do this successfully by themselves without telling people out loud.
They're going to be, you can probably guess my fear in that is that I don't want people to judge my husband.
But you want to not drown.
Isolated. I feel so isolated.
Right. And you are continuing to prop up the image of this perfect little family that you had. You have to let that go because it's not real.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And maybe the first step is calling a close friend and letting her know, I'm about to blow your mind.
They will fall down in shock. I can, they will go through a fraction of what I went through when I found out because Why
are you protecting them? Why are you protecting him? I'll tell you why. You've been protecting him your whole marriage.
Yeah. Oh, I have. Yeah, I know.
Your whole marriage, you've been protecting him. At some point, Rebecca, you have to decide that you're worth being well and you're worth being whole, even if that means the fantasy land you've kept duct tape together for 20 or 30 years is no more.
Yes. Or what if they say things back that actually hurt me?
They will. They will say stupid things like, well, what did you do? Is it such a big deal? Like, you will get all that stuff.
Right.
And really quickly, you will be able to determine how close these friends actually are. But let me tell you the word, like the word that we're dancing around here that I hate more than anything is vulnerability. Only way forward to heal is vulnerability literally means to roll over and expose your belly so that another animal can come kill you, and hoping that they choose not to. And that's what it feels like, right?
Oh, that's fear. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So let me be very clear. Your friends could roast you. They could destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
They can.
Yeah.
But if you don't find people to talk to, you will be the casualty here.
Yeah, it's so isolating.
Yes.
I feel disoriented.
It is. And when you start saying these things out loud and seeing the shock on their face, you're going to get a new perspective of what you're experiencing. So before the day is over, your homework assignment is to call 2 friends and invite them over and tell them everything. All of it. Everything. Even the stuff you left out, which I guarantee you left stuff out of this call. And maybe open up to your friends and say, I'm gonna need help practicing not protecting him anymore. I'm gonna need help wading through all this grief, all this shame, all of this. I should have said something a long, long, long time ago. I've had these feelings in my guts for years and I just ignored them. You're gonna need help practicing trusting Rebecca again. And in many ways, it's gonna feel like you're going to rehab and learn how to walk. I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I'll be here with you every step of the way. Call anytime, email anytime, and I'd love to have you back on the show, and we can figure this thing out together as we go. But you got to have 2 people that you call today, invite them over in person tonight, and have that conversation. That, as uncomfortable as it's going to be, is where the healing will begin.